Vice City has never been an empty postcard. Behind the neon, behind the palm trees and the sunset skyline, every single block belongs to somebody. And in GTA 6, that somebody is a gang. Think about it. In San Andreas, we had the Grove Street families, the Ballas, the Vagos. In the original Vice City, we had the Cubans, the Haitians, and the Forelli crime family. In GTA 4, the mafias ran everything. In GTA 5, we had the families and the Lost NC gangs aren't a side detail in this series. They are the streets. They are the story. So today, we are going through every single gang and criminal group we have spotted in GTA 6 so far. From the bikers of Ambrosia to the Haitian crews of Vice City, to a militia hiding out in the swamps. Everything you are about to see is pulled straight from Trailer 1, Trailer 2, and the official screenshots Rockstar has released. So stick around to the end, because the last one completely changes how the map is going to work. Let's get into it. Let's start with what leaked all the way back in 2022. Even before the trailers, we already knew a few names. There was talk of a Haitian gang, a group called the Guardia Brothers, and something that nobody paid much attention to at the time, a far-right militia. Hold that last one in your head, because it comes back in a big way later. Now let's move to the gang we know the most about, the Final Chapter Motorcycle Club. We saw them briefly in Trailer 2, and then again in the screenshots, rolling through the streets of a town called Ambrosia. And the details here are incredible. From the screenshots, we know this club was founded in 1982. Look closely and you can see the riders are all different sizes and builds. The guy on the right is absolutely massive, while the riders on the left are much smaller. Their jackets follow one style, but everyone is slightly different. But here is the detail everyone missed. In one screenshot, a man wearing a Liberty City Cycles cap has a single word stitched onto his jacket, Enforcer. That is not decoration. That is rank. It tells us the final chapter will have a full hierarchy, an internal structure, ranks you might climb or take down. Just like a real motorcycle club. And their home turf, without a doubt, is Ambrosia. Next, we move into Haitian territory, and a gang called Sun for Sun. We actually caught glimpses of them in both trailers. In Trailer 1, a character wearing a specific chain seemed to hint at them. Then in Trailer 2, an actual gang emblem appeared on a wall, reading Sun for Sun, while Jason drove past people being detained by police. Look at the murals as he rides through. This entire area is soaked in Haitian culture, and it might be a direct descendant of the Haitian gang from the original Vice City. And it gets more specific. There is a neighborhood tied to them called Pearl. In one shot, you can see a tattoo that says Pearl. In another, the columns of a building each carry a single letter, spelling it out P-E-A-R-L. That is not a coincidence. That is Rockstar telling us exactly where this crew lives. Bikes, ATVs, art on every wall. This is their block. And connected to all of this, back in Trailer 1, we saw what fans nicknamed the Dirt Bike Dirtbags. A whole crew of riders tearing through the streets, popping wheelies, filming everything on their phones. In that same scene there was a mural that read R.I.P. Rudy, a memorial for a fallen member. That one small detail tells you these gangs have history. They have losses, loyalty, people they've buried. Rockstar isn't just drawing logos on walls. They are writing backstories most players will never even notice. Now let's head somewhere darker, Port Gellhorn. This place used to be a thriving vacation spot. Now it's cheap motels, shut-down attractions, and empty strip malls. And it is drowning in drugs. In the screenshots, you can see a guy holding a bat, covered in bullet scars, weed growing right there in the background. Another man has a gun tucked behind his back. There's a woman selling blue pills to someone in a car. There may not be a named gang here yet, but make no mistake, somebody is running these streets, and it is not the police. And then there's the one that surprised everyone. Out in the grassroots and grass rivers area, deep in the swamp, there are screenshots of an organized group of people. Remember that far-right militia from the 2022 leaks? This could be them. These are not tourists. They are not random gator hunters. In one shot, we see them tearing across the water on an airboat. In another, people are fleeing the police in a truck with a trunk full of alligator carcasses. Something is very wrong out there, and it looks like a full faction we'll have to deal with. Real quick, if you're enjoying this deep dive, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. This channel is your vault for every GTA 6 detail before anyone else. Now back to the gangs. Because we are barely scratching the surface. Names from the leaks that could still appear include the Colombian Cartel and Los Cabrones, an old Vice City crew. And with Miami and Florida gang culture as the direct inspiration, expect smaller street gangs controlling individual neighborhoods across Vice City and the whole state of Leonida. There might even be a prison gang. Remember, Lucia starts the game behind bars, and in the screenshots of her cell, you can see other inmates in the background who almost certainly belong to a crew of their own. There's also a strong chance that gangs from the classic Vice City era make a comeback. The Forelli crime family. The Diaz operation. The bikers once led by Mitch Baker. And the ghost of Tommy Vercetti. No, Tommy himself won't show up, but his legacy could still be ruling parts of the city. Imagine his old empire back in power, and you have to decide whether to take it down, or join it. Now here is what ties all of this together, Lucia and Jason themselves. Remember, Lucia comes straight out of prison, and Jason has a military background and a history working for the wrong people. These two aren't cops cleaning up the streets. They are criminals, moving through this world from the inside. That means the gangs we've talked about aren't just enemies to shoot. They are potential employers. Potential partners. Potential betrayals waiting to happen. Every single crew we've covered could become a chapter in their story, a job that goes right, or a deal that goes horribly wrong. And think about the people we've already glimpsed around them. The influencers filming everything on their phones. The drug dealers in the Keys. Cal, Jason's paranoid, conspiracy-obsessed friend. This world is packed with characters who all seem tied to some group, some hustle, some corner of the criminal underground. Rockstar has built a state where nobody is truly independent. Everybody answers to somebody. And figuring out who answers to who might be half the fun of playing this game. And that brings us to the biggest takeaway, the thing that changes the whole map. Look at Leonida Keys. We know you work for a man named Brian Heather, moving drugs. But here's the thing. There is no way Brian is the only player down there. There will be a rival crew, maybe a serious gang, set up as his enemies. And that pattern repeats everywhere. Because if there is one gang, there has to be another gang to fight them. And think about what that means for how you actually play. If every region has its own crew, then GTA 6 could finally bring back real gang mechanics. Territory you can take. Allies you can recruit. Rivals who remember what you did to them. Imagine doing jobs for the final chapter 1 week, then getting hunted by them the next because you crossed the wrong line. In the older games, gangs were mostly set dressing. In GTA 6, with a living world that reacts to everything, they could become the beating heart of the entire story. And that is before we even talk about GTA Online, where these same factions could become the crews and turf that players fight over for years. That is what makes this different from every GTA before it. This isn't a handful of gangs in a couple of neighborhoods. This is turf war across an entire state. Bikers in Ambrosia. Haitians in Pearl. Drug crews in Port Gellhorn. A militia in the swamps. Legacy families clawing back power in Vice City. And right in the center of all of it, caught between every single one of these factions, are Lucia and Jason. And honestly, we have seen almost nothing. Rockstar is holding the real story back. Everything we just covered came from 2 trailers and a handful of screenshots. When trailer 3 drops, and it should be soon, this list is going to explode. So that is everything we know about the gangs of GTA 6 so far. Which faction are you most excited to run with, or run from? Drop it in the comments. If you learned something new, smash that like, subscribe to the vault, and I'll see you in the next one.